everyone. Today we're going to talk about commitment and how nothing profound can be built without it. Commitment, according to the dictionary, a willingness to give your time and energy to something you believe in. No one expects a strong body without training. No one expects a thriving company without putting in the work. But when it comes to love, suddenly we act like commitment is something that should come after we catch the feelings. As if depth or a strong connection or a profound connection will come out of nowhere. And then we decide to put in the commitment, the effort, and show up. Here's the truth based on a lot of research. You will never fall in love if you never commit. And neither will the other. In that sense, if you want a deep connection with someone who doesn't commit, know that they will never fall in love. Because love and being in love is not something you fall into, it is something that you build. Otherwise, it's limerence. And this is just a chemical reaction. I write more about this in the article. But limerence is a neurochemical temporary state. And this is not being in love. This is a neurochemical reaction. Sorry, I hate to break this to you. So let's get clear on this. Commitment doesn't mean you know the outcome. It doesn't mean that you know what you want with this person in the end, or how much you like this person after some time, or if you're gonna stay together longer or shorter. It means choosing to show up with intention in the now. I will give you an example. And this goes for either you work on a deep connection with someone, or a business, or a muscular body. This is the example. Think of a field. Every once in a while you can throw a rock into this field, just a random rock. It can be very big rocks, it doesn't matter, like big effort, you know. It will create a pile of rocks, but it builds nothing. Or you can lay a foundation and build consistently brick by brick by brick by brick. And maybe you will build a small wall and then leave it up to someone else to finish. Or maybe you build a whole house or a big wall or a pizza oven. So you can start, even if you don't know the outcome, you can start by laying bricks and then see how far you want to build it and what it will become. Or that you leave it to someone else at some point to finish. It can also be. But at least there's something real, something built, and something solid. And that is commitment. Not the whole plan or the whole house, just a willingness to start consistently with commitment at that moment, in the now. And neuroscience backs this up. Your emotional brain, the limbic system, only bonds through repetition and reliability. The feeling of safety, depth, and connection, that doesn't come from intensity or potential. This comes from patterns and pattern recognition. And if there's no pattern, no consistent showing up, your brain doesn't bond. It doesn't deepen and it stays guarded. That means even if the chemistry is wild, even if the conversations are electric and deep, if there's no commitment, there will be no wiring. No in love, no deep connection. And this is true for both people. You can't fall in love with someone who isn't present. Then this is limerence. And they will not fall in love with you if you are not consistent. So if you are trying to have a deep connection with someone who's not committed, don't expect them to fall in love. But also, probably you will not fall in love yourself. So Mark Manson put it very well in the podcast Modern Wisdom. Love is the result of commitment, not the cause of it. Let that sink in. So there's not first being in love and then committing. It's committing and then falling in love, have a deep connection, and at the end love. If you're waiting to feel more before you commit, you have it backwards. Love will only exist after you start showing up. If you are the one who has been holding back, maybe you have been telling to yourself, I don't know if I'm in love, maybe I'm not ready to commit, maybe I will commit when it feels right, I don't want to lead anyone on, I don't want to make false promises. Maybe you should ask yourself, are you avoiding hurting someone else or avoiding risk? Because staying uncommitted feels safer. But what it actually does is keeping everything shallow. You will never see who someone becomes after commitment, when your brain feels safe and can establish a deep connection. You will never get the sense of connection that comes with building. You think you're protecting yourself or the other, but you're also cutting yourself off from the thing that you might be craving. Maybe you think that limerence, the uncertainty, the hormones flying is feeling in love and everything else is not. So you cut it off and not commit. But then you got it wrong, because this excitement, we had a wild night and I don't know if the day after they're gonna text. This is not being in love. This is neurochemical excitement. So this is why for a lot of people commitment feels boring, because they used to have all the time the stage of limerence and then don't commit. So they never have anything else, and everything which is not that they find boring. And here's what makes it easier. You don't need to know if it's gonna be a house. You just need to lay the bricks one by one by one. Maybe it will become a wall, maybe more, maybe not. But if you never commit, so consistently show up, you will never even know. Now imagine, or maybe you've been there, what it looks like from the other side. Someone is trying to connect with you and you're inconsistent and not committing. They're showing up, they're wondering where this is going, they're asking themselves, do they like me? Should I wait? Is there something real? But here is what matters. Remember this, you cannot expect to be in someone's future if you're not in their present. But also from the other side, you should stop wanting someone in your future that is not there in the present. Because love is not built in the future, it's built in the right now. In the little text you send, in the time you make, in the consistency of showing up, doing what you say, put in the effort. That's how love grows. And if it's not growing, it's not because there's no potential, it's because no one is building. So if you're waiting to feel something more before you commit, you got it backwards. Because feeling doesn't come first. The commitment comes first. This is how your brain works. That's how emotional connection works. This is how falling in love works. And how being and staying in love works. Do you want to feel it? Then show up for it. Lay a brick, be in the present, even if you don't know the outcome. You can always choose later where it's just a wall or whether you build something more. If you never build anything, you will never actually feel what real love is, and you will never know with this specific person if there's a potential to fall in love with them. But also on the other hand, when you have interest in a deeper connection with someone who doesn't commit, don't expect them to fall in love with you. Don't expect them to be in your future if they're not with you in the present. I hope this gave some insight to the ones that are struggling with this. Have a nice evening. And send this to the person you think that should hear this. Thank you. And if you want some support with any of these topics, just send me a message and we figure it out. Have a nice day.